the latest Texas floods tested warning systems. This time, they passed. Those words ring true as we look back at last summer's devastation and now at the city's announced victory over nature's fury. In late June, the hill country of Texas was roiled by a sudden deluge that swept the Guadalupe River. The floodwaters surged through towns, campgrounds, and homes, shattering lives and killing dozens of people, many of them children at a summer camp. The tragedy exposed a grim reality. For decades, the region had lived without effective sirens or flood forecasting systems that could alert residents to an oncoming flood. Fast forward a little over a year. At 3 a.m. Thursday, the calm was broken by a bright flashing light and a booming alarm that rattled a campground perched on the banks of the river in Ingram. Joe Swan, a local resident and a company executive for River Sentry, had received the alert on his phone. The device that sounded the warning, a handheld flood alert unit roughly 8 feet tall, blared orders, "Move away from the tower." Instantly, the camp's campers scrambled toward higher ground. That scene illustrates the direct impact of a system that, in the previous summer's lull, did not exist. Swan's company, River Sentry, had installed 100 of these devices along the Guadalupe in the past 12 months in response to the July 4th tragedy. The devices are more than sirens. They feature bright banker lights and provide clear commands that can be followed even in the dark or in emergency conditions. The story does not end with Swan's unwarranted intervention. Government funding and philanthropic oddcover, carried by local donors, supported the other flood siren systems that recently lit up when Hill Country again faced a flash flood this week. These networks, which interlock with state and local authorities, have activated in several previously hard-hit zones, effectively preventing the repeat of the last summer's loss. What can we learn from this evolution? First, that rapid technological response, when combined with community action, can mitigate disaster. Second, that the investment, both public and private, into reliable warning infrastructure matters not just for the present but lays the groundwork to better manage future climate events. This development follows a broader national trend. The National Weather Service and local municipalities across the United States have been struggling with the same lack of immediate flood alerts. Texas Hill Country, where rapid elevation changes often catch floodwater off guard, learned a hard lesson last year. Now, those lessons have been encoded into tangible life-saving technology. Going forward, the lesson is clear: first response mechanisms must keep pace with the rising intensity of weather events. Moreover, coordination between businesses like River Sentry, government marshals, and community volunteers can produce powerful synergy. So tonight we recognize a community that has turned mournful loss into progress. To the families who lost loved ones last July, and to those who survived because a light flickered and an alarm sounded when it impossible, we hear your grief and your gratitude. We'll be back next week with more stories that shape our climate future. Until then, stay aware, stay prepared, and keep staying informed. Thank you for listening.